Shelby County Supervisors, it's May 7th, 2024. Any conflict of interest, guys, on the agenda today?
None.
Any additions, changes of agenda, Mark?
No.
The only thing I want to do is, after approval of the claims, I want to move Jordan Sanders up for his report. He's got a bunch of stuff to get to, so with that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of the minutes. Any changes, corrections, Mark?
No.
Okay, for April 9th.
May 23rd. I wrote that in the agenda incorrectly.
April 23rd, right?
Or April 23rd. Sorry. Thank you, Charlie. That's twice today you helped me.
Okay, minutes for the 23rd. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
As presented.
Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Approval of claims. Chance, any questions on that?
None.
Questions
None.
answered?
Motion.
Motion by Bryce, second by
Second.
Charlie. Approve the claims as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Next on report, Jordan Sanders EMS report. But before you give your, sit down, but before you give your EMS report, just like a short summary of what's been going on in the county with the tornado. Since Alex is out with FEMA reps as we speak, trying to get verification. We haven't been declared a federal disaster yet, but they're verifying our numbers, our damage out there, to submit a report. Is that correct?
Correct. So we did damage assessments, initial damage assessments, turned those into the state. Somewhere along the lines it got brushed under the rug. We kind of got forgot about somehow, which has been...
Not on our end.
No, we did
Homeland
everything.
Security end.
And not only did we do everything, but we did everything 3 times what the requirement is, which is why we got left out. Because we didn't give one-word answers. We said, here's the address, here's the people, this is what's wrong, instead of, it's major damage. That's all they, apparently the only thing that they cared about was affected, not affected, minor, major, and destroyed. Those
The
were only 5
unincorporated
things.
areas, and we didn't
Right.
have any.
And so we went through and did full damage assessments, and they said, oh look, there's 74 places that were affected, and it's not what it was major damage. Right. Initial estimates are somewhere between $75 and $100 million in damage. We've had a lot of different organizations working on several different things. Shelby County State Bank's got an account set up that people can donate financial funds to. We had a bunch of volunteers in the last week
That's been outstanding.
go out and help a lot of people. Yesterday there was 285 high school kids that went around. Some of them got to meet the governor. She was here yesterday, and everything went very well. They got a ton of stuff picked up and moved around the county.
Yep.
So one of the things I'm going to be doing today is figuring out what is left that needs to be done. We might have an FFA, a bunch of FFA groups from around the state coming here either Wednesday or Thursday. With the amount of rain we got last night, I'm hoping it's Thursday, so things can be a little drier. So far everything is moving forward rather quickly. Like you said, Alex is out with FEMA right now. It's real big headed since we get done with this. Once they get done with that, the governor said by the end of the week we should know. I think we'll probably know soon.
Yeah, I heard from her this morning, and
Yeah, I know.
her and Mike Nager are getting together on some possible other programs too.
Yeah, small business.
Because in these disasters, it's been very clear to me that the rural ag community, these disasters are not set up for to help, and that needs to change. There's a big disconnect there, and she realized it yesterday, and when Mike Nager was here with Grassley and Holtz and them on Friday, they had no idea. But to their benefit, you can't fix something if you don't know it didn't get to them, and so they're trying to correct.
Well, and this is it's a unique situation. You know, you don't want to see a town get hit, but
No,
managing a town disaster is far less complex and difficult than managing 30 square miles of a disaster.
Yeah.
So one thing that hasn't happened a lot is you haven't had a tornado go across an entire county and affect almost 100 different properties.
And
It's
not
not
any
something that
incorporated
happens
areas, yeah.
very often. So there'll be a lot of lessons learned, not only here with us and statewide. There'll be a lot of lessons learned.
Right.
So-
And I'm not going to start thanking everybody that's been involved, because I'll let somebody out unintentionally, because it's been a whole, not just a village, it's been a whole community. And around the state, we have people coming in from all over, but I really want to shout out to Alex and Jordan and Jim Shelton. Those guys have been on it. Jim has helped organize the recovery for getting volunteers out there that the farmers really needed, besides the victims' homes, get the fields picked up. And the governor was so impressed yesterday with the army. Everywhere we went, there was kids out in the field, and we really needed that. For the school district, a big thank you. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I think that was a good opportunity for a lot of, I mean, realistically, probably half of those school kids have never been out on
Right.
working in fields and stuff like that. I think it was a good experience.
Learning experience. Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
So, we're just moving forward. It'll be a busy month yet with this, but right now everything is moving forward at good speed. We don't really have any hiccups now that we've got the attention of the people that we need.
Yep.
So I think things will move along.
Now it's getting all these resources made available, get the proper documentation, and then passing that on to the victims of where you go for this, whether it's for housing or cleanup or building repair or loans. We'll be busy working on that. So
Yep.
Thank you for that. Was there any damage last night? Any significant damage last night?
There was no significant damage.
Well, that's good.
Elkhorn was without power for quite a while. Portsmouth was without power for quite a while. Shelby had a lot of trees down.
Okay.
I need to drive some areas of the county today. We had, my phone was going off with the Weather Channel and news stations, and there was a lot of reports of potential tornadoes last night.
Yeah.
I think I had 6
Kept everybody up.
locations. Minden, outside of Minden, did take another hit last night. I lost 7 more buildings, no homes. So,
Okay.
but we haven't had any new reports in our office yet.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's move on to your EMS reports then.
So we've been doing a lot of updates to the outside of the building. We no longer have a sign. We've got signs up on the building now. I've got a quote from a sign company in Atlantic, and I'm working on getting one here to get a decent sign out there. That quote came in just under $4,000 for a steel sign, something that's not gonna rot. So that'll be one thing to look for here, and hopefully if we get some money in June, we can get something. We are continuing our monthly trainings with volunteers. Our last one was in Shelby. We had 21 attend that. Our next one will be in Erling in 2 weeks. We've had, our revenues are starting to come in. We've deposited $141,000 in revenue into our bank account at Shelby County State Bank.
In April?
Yep.
Good.
And of that, we've written checks for $130,000 to go into our account here at the county. And then another thing that we started, I created a Facebook page for the ambulance service. So if you haven't seen it, you should all go find that. We will not only put EMS stuff, but like I've been putting some weather stuff on there and just sharing different county things. We spotlighted all of our employees. I was doing one a day, and then Friday hit, and I got behind that. So we finished them yesterday. So all of our employees have been spotlighted, and kind of the county and citizens can kind of see our employees that we have out there and learn a little bit about them and their education and where they came from. And then we are doing an adopt an EMS personnel in this month. May 19th to the 26th is National EMS Week. So we're going to do some things down there for them, and we put that out there. If anyone's interested in adopting an EMS person, they can email me and I'll give them all the information they need. With that, I'm going to be reaching out to Roger this week. I would like to do a joint EMS night on that Wednesday. I think it's the 22nd, 23rd, something like that. I don't have the exact date. And kind of do an open house down there, so people can see the living quarters, see what the county's doing for EMS. They can meet some crew. I'm gonna try and see if I can work with some local places to maybe get some hot dogs and chips that we can grill for the kids, and get a couple of bounce houses and kind of do a joint adventure between the two entities that are right across the street from each other. I think that would be a good thing to get out there for the public.
Okay, I got a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Where did you learn last month as far as billing percentage that's coming to us?
I haven't gotten any numbers from PCC yet. As far as percentages, they wanted to get through April's billing sent out and start seeing the return on that. So I would guess by the middle or towards the end of this month, they're going to start trying to get a percentage.
More of a track of what we
Yep.
can rely on. Okay.
Yep. And the other thing we have to remember is just because we're only getting, if the bill's $2,100 and we get $700, the rest of the money doesn't just disappear. That's just what insurance is reimbursed. Now, obviously, we understand we're not going to collect on all of it, but there will be other people that do
Some
pay the
trickle
rest
in.
of their bills that will trickle in
Okay.
as well.
So is your revenues coming in from the billing? Because last month it was real iffy. Is that staying ahead of
Yeah,
the
so far we're
expenses?
doing all right. Yep.
Okay, okay. Then one thing I'd like to have you do, I know the tornado threw so much monkey wrench.
Yeah, I normally I would have more
Yeah,
information,
'cause
but
I would like to have it when you come each month. You
Yep.
have a up-to-date budget
yep,
presented to this, and maybe in the next couple of weeks, if you could send the budget out. to us.
absolutely.
Okay, and then last I have, what we talked about last time, are you getting some options put together addressing overtime?
Yeah, so we've got 3 different schedules that we've put together down there. Everyone likes them. So now we're trying to fine tune them, and what it looks like. Some of them require maybe the hiring of 2 more EMTs to help cut back on some of the callback shifts. So we're trying to, I was hoping to have those fine tuned to go over them with you at this meeting, and then
Yeah.
things
No, I understand.
took place.
I understand, but I just want
So
to
we are
addressing that.
Yeah, we are working on that. One thing we need to talk about, maybe it's just a Mark in my conversation. We talked about doing that $200 stipend to bring in those 3 EMTs and paramedics that live exponentially far away to do callback shifts. I don't know how we log that on like their timesheets.
Yeah, you'll have to visit with Mark and
So
Melissa.
that's something we can talk about sometime this week.
And make sure it's in our budget to do that.
Yeah, well, it's gonna cut overtime,
Okay.
so it'll cost less. But that stuff's moving along well. We definitely have some options. And then I'm working on putting something together to have, if I want to call it a lead paramedic or something that can assist me if I'm gone or whatever, that they can kind of take over responsibilities. And then we'll open that up to anyone that we have that wants to apply for it, and then move forward from there.
Yep,
So,
yep, yep,
It's a good idea.
yep, okay. Okay, you guys have any questions, Jordan?
No?
Okay, appreciate taking the time to get here. I know you got other places to go, so
Absolutely.
Good.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, Carolyn Boone, Treasurer's Quarterly Report, Tax Abatement. Morning, Carolyn. Carolyn, how goes with you today? How's our new employee working out?
That's one of the things we're going to talk
Okay,
about.
good, good,
But
good.
now that you touched on it, our new part-time employee, Kelsey Hazy, she began work on April 29th, so we're in the full swing of training her. She will be attending the mandatory day-long DOT training in Ankeny on May 14th. Kelsey replaces a previous part-time employee who accepted a full-time position with a local church. So we are back at full staff, but need to be patient with the training process, of course.
Yep.
So that was part of my quarterly report. Do you want to do the abatement first, or the quarterly
You-
report, or do you want to just take one of those and pass it?
Whatever works for you.
So what I have, what's being passed around here today, yeah, just take a full paper copy. I could have handed that to you, sorry. what has been provided to me regarding the city of Elkhorn. They have, through court action, taken over the hotel that was in Elkhorn. And part of the order, the court order that is attached there, the court order awarding title, I just want to point out the, on page 2, so on the back side of that court order, that the court hereby awards title of this property to the city of Elkhorn free and clear from any liens, assessments, encumbrances, including all property taxes due or owing on the property. The clerk shall notify the Shelby County Auditor's Office, Assessor's Office, Recorder's Office, and Treasurer's Office so that these offices may take note of this order and adjust their records accordingly. So, and I have provided this to Marcus as well, and of course, you know, abatement's been the standard practice when the municipality obtains title to a property under these code sections that are here. And so what I also have provided you with is what's called a tax charge information sheet from our office, which outlines the amount of the taxes that are unpaid for this property. And then I visited with the assessor's office, and they said that they are, this property, this parcel is already exempt for the 2023 taxes, so there won't be any additional taxes going this fall because of it being a municipality, they would be tax exempt.
Okay.
So this is kind of just a
You're
formality.
good with that, Marcus?
Yeah, this is, yeah, it's as Carolyn said, we've done this in the past. I think you're probably required to do it, actually, because the city required the title to it. And so this is nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. Okay.
This is a court order, no, we can't do anything about it.
So this is basically a formality. I assume the board needs to get the
Yeah.
permission from the board to do this, though, to do the abatements, because I don't have the permissions to do that without your approval.
Yep, do I have a motion to abate the taxes here in City of Elkhorn?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Quarterly report.
Yeah, just a
update.
little, few facts and figures. On May 1st, my office mailed out the delinquent property tax notices. Just a little background, last year, the delinquent notices that we mailed out, there was 442 parcels totaling about $353,000. This year, we had 794 parcels totaling about $666,000. So quite a bit more, but I attribute that to, there were several property owners who have multiple parcels that are typically not late, but they just were this time. So just bringing you up to date, as of yesterday afternoon, several of those have been paid now that they've received that reminder notice, and bringing our totals down to 474 parcels with amounts owing to $432,000. So that's, you know, a little bit more in line, and will be trickling in. You know, we still do the same reminders. I still do property tax reminders, especially in March. It's kind of hard to remember that payment, so since you don't get an actual mailing. That August 1 has that 2 payment vouchers on it, but that's how it's done in the state of Iowa. So I still put ads on the radio, I still put ads in the newspaper to remind people. And then they also have the option too, which I've, you know, tried to encourage all of our customers to do, our taxpayers to do, is to sign up on our statewide Treasurers Association website. That will, if nothing else, even if they don't want to pay online, they can at least set themselves up reminders, and then they would get an email reminder. So, you know, just trying to help people so that that doesn't get forgotten, so that they don't have to pay that interest on. Nobody wants to have to do that, those interests and costs on there. So that's all a part of preparing for the annual tax sale, the statewide Iowa tax sale that is going to be held. It's always the third Monday in June, unless it falls on Juneteenth, so some counties have that day off, but annual tax sale is June 17th. So preparing for that and those deadlines. And then just to give you a little bit of an update, since I had the figures at my fingertips here yesterday while doing some month-end balancing and things. So in March, we take in about $25 million a year in property taxes. And in the month of March alone, we took in $9.2 million in property tax collections. And then, of course, we apportioned that out, which we did that the first part of April. out of that, just give you the top three entities that receive the taxpayer dollars that we collect. The county gets 2.7 million. This Harlan's Community School District gets 2.4 million, and the city of Harlan gets 1.1 million. Those are obviously rounded a little bit, but just to kind of give you an idea how those taxpayer dollars are spread out. Any questions on any of that? Then the only other thing that I just kind of bring you up to date, which I've mentioned in the past, the DOT is going to be doing some programming for some laws that have passed that are going to go into effect January 1st, and I'll remind you again later on of that. But starting January 1st of 2025, what the county keeps, instead of $2.50 for each title processed, we will now be getting $12.50. So that's going to obviously raise our revenues. The fee for new registration, instead of receiving $1, we get $11, so a $10 increase in that one as well. And then adding liens on the security notations on vehicles, instead of $6, we're going to be getting $16. And that is all passed up to this point and set to be signed by the governor tomorrow morning.
Okay, appreciate the update. Good increase.
Yeah, pretty good increases. There hasn't been any, there hasn't been any increases on a lot of these things for decades. Like
Obviously.
20-some years, or more. So, yeah, it was well overdue. Yeah, just kind of like, now accepting, the Nevada County for driver's license fees, that's rolling along, and I'll have some end-of-year figures for you guys throughout the next quarterly report. What we're getting, $10 for anybody who doesn't live or own property here in Shelby County. They pay $10 to come use our office for driver's license services. So I'll have those figures for you the next time.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Questions?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yes.
Starting on department head reports, Jay Ring, roadside management. Morning, Jay.
Morning.
Morning. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good.
All right. I was just gonna kind of tell you what was going on my end, I guess, when the guys here. Started with this winter we did some problematic trees we took down that were in the right of way or danger spots or stuff like that. But when we could get out there to get in the right of way, it seemed like it was slick, and either slick or muddy, or didn't want them out there on the slopes when it was slick. So spent a lot of time working on the drills. They needed a little attention. Get the spray truck, got it. It's made some improvements on that. Went to the weed commissioner conference in Altoona, listened to a bunch of different speakers and panels. It's pretty interesting. There's some pretty good resources there through them guys. They work, a lot of them are roadside managers too, so you speak with them and learn some more stuff.
A lot of times you learn more.
Yeah. I was just gonna, with that said, I was gonna say gonna mention maybe something about the, Shelby County residents on identifying invasives and making some calls in to either me or somebody that can help them and try to get, if you see something, we gotta take care of it fast because they spread fast. So just gonna mention that. Started seeding this year, April 5th. Did the drills and the hydro seeder. Got a really good stand on this year's plantings, but I'm still doing a lot of even two years ago and some third year plantings that are just, it's been so dry. So I mentioned here, I got a lot of natives planted from the seed we received from the UNI Tall Grass Prairie Center. Got 40 acres this last year, and then I got 40 acres again for this year, which we'll go get tomorrow. You got to have that IRVM plan to get it. I mean, and it's only got to be updated every 5 years, so it ain't too bad. But that's a huge savings for the county. That's a lot of seeding, and you get to put some natives back, So good program to be involved with. Still trying to work on the list that I have, the maps that I have for seeding now. Everything I planted up to all these hard rains, it's been pretty good, but probably have to do some replanting, which I don't think anybody's complaining about moisture. So I got another part-time guy starting Monday. They'll be out spraying, so I'm gonna get them 2 guys out spraying. They'll be out daily. And then I have a guy coming in to help me do some mowing of the shoulders. That'll help a lot. Really starting to take off now, the grass is. So they'll be out here next week for sure. I just mentioned that it seems like everything this time of year all needs to be done at the same time. It's all stacked on top of each other. So the guys do good. I wrote that, we appreciate it. The guys helping us. And I wrote down here, we'll keep doing our part to keep Shelby County a great place to live. And I think we all seen how great it is with this tornado. Everybody's out. We were out cleaning the ditches with a couple crews, and you look around and there's one farmer. Every neighbor's there, and it's pretty neat. So
Yep.
I was impressed on what got cleaned up in a short amount of time. And it's a great place to live here. So mention that. But back to that plan, I guess. If there's any questions you guys have on that, but it's a good thing to be part of. There's a lot of resources on this. They actually make a book, and the book is very interesting on what you can read. If you have any questions on, say you want to know how much cover crop to put with something, you can look in this manual, or you can call your other resources that these guys are all involved in. But so
Jay, the question I had after I went over the report is was there any significant changes in there from before?
Not a lot.
I didn't notice anything.
No, there's some maybe some duties that I updated that.
Okay.
But no major big changes that I think really need to be addressed, I guess.
Okay. You guys have any questions with him about the plan?
Nope.
Nope. I think Jay's doing a great job.
Thank you.
He's taken the job and run with it and put his stamp on it.
So do I have a motion to
Good job.
approve his 5-year plan there?
Motion.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
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 That's all I got. I was just gonna add, if you have a copy of it, Mark? The IRB?
On my computer, yes.
Okay, well, I got
have
this
it right
one.
here, so
I printed one off, so
In
if
the
you guys
file,
can.
if somebody asks for it.
you need it signed.
Yeah, by the board, and then if you could just give it with this,
for you,
and
Charlie.
back to work.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Kyle with jail.
Morning.
Morning.
Kyle, how are you?
Good yourself.
Good so far.
Got you. Bryce is good, we're all good.
Bryce is good. We're all good. Jail update. Well, it's been since January of 24, January of this year, since I think last time I was spoken to you guys. As always, jail's busy. Because normally I like to start off and give you a little statistics. We processed 206 new bodies through our door since January 1 of this year.
You say 206?
206 people coming out since January 1. And I guess you figure we're on, day 128, 129 of the year so far. So we're busy. We go on spurts. We can go a couple days with nothing, then we can go a couple days where we'll have 4 or 5 come to jail. So obviously, crime isn't something that you can predict, but it's here.
How does that compare to, say, a 3-year average prior to this?
Well, we're on track. Compare it's very
I
steady.
know it's up.
It's up. So some of the statistic-wise, and to get into, just to put this out for numbers. So 2022, we had 442 roughly come through our door in the entire calendar year from January 1 to December 31st. Last year, we had 711. So we had about a 54% increase just in 1 year, and obviously with operational costs and cost of living going up, it's been a challenge, but we've prevailed and overcome, and kudos to the staff, which is going to kind of take me to our next point, because this week, I know there's a lot of national certification, not a lot of national recognition and stuff like that, but back in '84, since I guess when our jail was built, Ronald Reagan put in proclamation that the first full week in May is actually National Corrections Officer Week. So giving kudos to our staff and special thanks to our staff. Just one thing I just want to kind of read here real quick for the public as well, and for you guys to understand. This week being May 5th through the 11th is National Correctional Officers Week. This past year has been the busiest year on record for the Shelby County Jail, with nearly a 54% increase in intakes in our overall jail population. Our staff have shown professionalism and strength in working longer hours, often picking up overtime shifts, oftentimes working by themselves, while still performing the essential job duties and requirements. Since our COs, our correctional officers' place of work, is usually in a secure location, we don't often see them as part of our public life. However, it is important to remember that they play an integral role in ensuring our public safety. So, special thanks to all the staff that we have, from myself and Sheriff Gross, and if you guys see them, to thank them for being an integral part of our team and continue to support them, because it is not an easy job. I know a lot of people think you just sit there and watch the TV and watch, but substance abuse, mental health abuse, this day and age, we wouldn't be able to fulfill our obligation to the community had the team have. So, special thanks to those men and women that do that job.
You got one officer back?
I have not heard anything from him yet.
Really?
I have not. So, waiting, hopefully that officer will get a hold of me soon.
Yeah.
So, some staffing updates. Carla Kramer, with the Sheriff's Office, she started her career within the jail back in June of '98, as the administrative assistant to the Sheriff's Office side. She's going to be retiring June 14th after 26 years of service to Shelby County. So we thank her for her time in the jail and also the Sheriff's Office side. Danielle Martin, my senior veteran within the jail, will actually be transferring over to the Sheriff's Office June 6th. She's accepted an administrative assistant position within the Sheriff's Office. Couple of anniversaries in regards to that. Amanda Earlmeyer, she's just started her 4th year. She's starting on her 4th year now with the jail as of April 14th. Then also Jackson Parkhurst is starting his 3rd year as of April 29th. So a couple anniversaries there in reference to that. Jackson is currently on state active duty orders down in Texas and will be returning back to us here soon. We have 2 new hires to report. Tiffany Dimon from Atlantic, Iowa. She started here on last Monday, the 29th. No previous corrections experience with her, but she's motivated and willing to learn, and comes from retail sales position and wants to explore other options. So she's got about a week under her belt. She will be going on to the night shift training with one of my other full-time night shifters. Then also Tiffany would replace Julie Armantrout, who left us back in January. And then Austin Phipps, who's a 2021 graduate of Harlan High School. He's been employed with the Nebraska Department of Correctional Services out at Tecumseh for the last 2 years. He accepted the job. He actually started yesterday. It was his first day back with us. So that position is to replace Danielle's transition over to the Sheriff's Office. With that also, with the good comes with the bad. We had a resignation from an employee yesterday, so that puts me back to the drawing board of having an open position. So I was fully staffed for 11 hours, which was a good opportunity. It's a battle. I mean, but it's. I think we'll probably the board, you guys will probably understand. Maybe coming to with the union negotiations with a new contract coming in here at the end of June of 2025. It's tough. It's tough to compete with market. I mean, people want to come into this type of work environment with physical and mental stress, and hey, I can give you 21 bucks an hour. It's eventually something that's gonna have to be addressed. I mean, I know taking it into my next section here, I guess, basically in talking about the budget, I just want to put some appreciative from understanding from Mark's point of view and from Taryn's point of view and the board of you guys as well is working with Sheriff Gross and myself in regards to the jail budget this year and getting us to a point to where we need to be. So I appreciate that. You know, some good questions were asked, some good conversations were had.
Well, when your attendance goes up 54%,
Correct.
that's out of your control. And
It's been a
we have to address that, and I think we have.
Correct. So I just wanted to appreciate my thanks, and I know the staff and everybody. I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that, like you said, reasons beyond our control, things that we have no control of. You know, it would be nice to say that we only have a few people come to jail, but you know, unfortunately, I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. So. Last but not least, regarding I guess the staff, we're going back to that. We are going to be hiring in July or around the fiscal year. We're going to be bringing on a frontline supervisor, a jail sergeant position to help with some of the on-call basis and help with some of the call-outs, the sick call-outs, the coverages, and some of the administrative duties and stuff. from my end to alleviate some of the other guys to free up on the deputy side that have been helping out. So we have technically 11 on staff right now. I guess I'd say 6 full-time, 7 including myself, and then I have some part-timers that come in and help out when they can as well. So new business, we did an amendment for our room and board as far as for camera project update. That is completed. For cloud systems, all our cameras have been online now for a little over a couple of months. They are an excellent asset. I mean, it's way easier when everything's cloud-based and stuff. So that's been a huge benefit. Maybe someday when if we're in a new facility, those are also transferable, so that'll be a nice thing as well. We went live with a new vendor, commissary, in our financial software through turnkey corrections, so we no longer handle cash and stuff within the jail. This is all set up through basically turnkey. Basically allows people to do deposits and all that stuff online now, mobile apps, instead of having to bring cash in the jail, bail deposits and stuff. So more and more passing account information. Carolyn's been providing account information. The auditors will be provided all. Carolyn gets a copy of it. Basically, we reconcile. It's been a little bit of a learning curve, but yes. And then basically, instead of me bringing cash over or whatever to the treasurer's office now, I can just present them a check from our Shelby County Jail account with a reconcile sheet of what these transaction details and stuff.
You're working through that.
Correct, yes. It gets to the point that technology's there. I mean, because a lot of our people come from out of state, out of county, and to say, hey, to put money on an inmate's books or something like that, we got to bring cash to the facility. We have an ATM basically that's in our lobby that sits in, it's under camera that they can come in and swipe a debit card, put cash deposits. And then basically we have a machine in our booking that does a cash counter. So if somebody comes in with money, somebody say comes in $500, immediately that money goes into the machine, it deposits, it counts it, calculates it, creates an account, puts it on their financial software. And then let's say they get out in a couple days and they have $450 left. It gets scanned onto a debit card and then basically go away. So it's way easier system. It's just when you're changing something, like in my realm of things for the last 15 and 16 years of when you're so used to doing this, but the technology is there, so it's good to take advantage of that. So, and it's a lot easier to print things. So, tomorrow, a big day for Shelby County Jail. We have our annual state jail inspection. I meet with Delbert Longley, the state jail inspector, tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's going to be a good conversation. I know last year, I kind of had some notes in here last year when we guys discussed FR 2023, our building, we're starting to have some sight and sound separation adequate and some mechanical issues and some concerns that are being brought forth to the states. Big topic of discussion tomorrow is going to be the ability to secure the mental health of those in psychosis with substance abuse. We have emergency restraints here. We do not have a padded room. We do not have those type of things that are quick statistic, I guess you may say, in all 99 counties. 94 of them that actually have jails. The other 6 or whatever 5 that have holding facilities. 14, I guess, within 40 or 50 bed or less within the last 12 years have had to look at new facilities. I know we kind of briefly discussed this at one time, but I would say eventually here, depending on how tomorrow goes, we will have to probably have a staff update to present to you guys. I don't know, we'll probably have to go into maybe some type of closed session so we don't have to disclose to the public, I guess, as far as with some areas to go over, areas of concern.
Okay.
Big thing.
Just let us know.
Big thing we're working on is antiquate. Our building was built in 83, live 84. I guess basically we're 41 years of age. We're starting to have plumbing issues. Finding parts for availabilities and a lot of things, and it's basically coming to needs where it's 5-7 year plan will probably be getting put into place. So I know a lot of things, but other than that, we're plugging away. Kudos to Sheriff Gross and his staff and his deputies have stepped up and helped out us jail staff when we've been busy, swamped, whether it be to go get meals, pick up medication. So
awesome.
It's good to have that teamwork, or step in to help out. So it's busy. I mean, I'm more than welcome. I mean, I think public education is a key thing. I mean, everybody wants to be willing to ask questions and, I guess I got to be careful as far as say come in and take a tour of our said facility, but I mean, just see what it's like.
No, you've been very transparent as much as you
Yeah,
can and made us
it's-
aware, because nobody here likes surprises. And you don't
Yeah,
either.
no, well, I don't like surprises either, unfortunately. That's
A couple questions I have, was there, I can put it into one, was there any legislative help this year to help with your expenses? And is there anything coming down the pipe through your organization? You know, like with medical expenses, drugs, because there's a lot of expenses out there.
Correct.
The taxpayers, local taxpayers have to absorb.
It went to legislative again, this will be for the 4th year in a row, in reference to far as medical coverage, keeping any state-funded insurance or type of insurance active for your first 30 days of incarceration instead of kicking them off and making them fiscal. The county, the sole financial responsible person. That was slated, nothing was done with that again. So we are basically back to once somebody comes incarcerated, they are our responsibility as far as financially.
Such a no-brainer, I don't see why.
I'm gonna say, where's the, apparently no political will, but when you have $3.8 billion in reserves
Yeah.
at the state level, they could really help
Very, very much so.
taxpayers out here.
Correct, because that's ultimately where it falls back on it. I mean, in Chapter 50, Iowa is one of 14 states that is bound by, administrative code as far as guidelines that we're still adhered to follow at the state level and the county, but the resistance that we have is, well, we're doing good by, being able to get some medications and stuff reimbursed from the state to the region. But when it comes to medical expenses, nothing to do with medical. I mean, it's been talked about, we're trying to get like a telehealth, like we have to telepsych. I can put an inmate in front of a psychiatric doctor within 48 hours through the region, and usually have medications, but obviously we pay for those medications up front, and then I can obviously file for a reimbursement claim. But as far as anything medical, dental,
Do you see that, now that you said that, I haven't thought about that, do you see that as something the region should be looking at to help fund our counties that are involved in our region?
It has been talked about amongst some of the administrators from other remote counties, smaller counties. Obviously, Pot County being the largest of our 9 counties, they have on-site medical, they have on-site nursing staff. To the region where their county could pay that, we could have some type of partnership or something, or somebody would be traveling that would come in and, we can make Tuesday, medical appointment day, or be seen by a medical professional that is, obviously licensed and insured to be coming into our facility. But a lot of things stalemate out.
Because the region does a good job of providing you with the resources for the mental health, but not so much paying for any drugs.
Yeah, no, they're.
Okay, no,
it's.
Okay, that's something I'll look into. Okay.
Yeah, and then I know a lot of questions, from the public too, is regards inmate pay for stay. Which is room and board. Room and board has been.
We've talked about that.
It's been a constant battle.
Needs to come from the state level, though.
Correct. Or at least let's get back to the point where we can file claims to the state and become a state debt, where eventually we can get to the point that, hey, you owe X number of dollars to the Shelby County Jail for your pay for stay. Inability to, whether it be renew license or motor vehicle registration, like it is within, your child support. But it's an uphill battle. So I feel bad. It seems like sometimes it's being a negative Nelly sitting here and trying to give it jail updates, but it's becoming tougher and tougher.
It is.
No,
you're making us aware of that.
And I would encourage any local taxpayers. Speak to your legislators, and I'd be more than happy to host a Q&A and get a hold of our representatives and come in and answer those questions, because they're questions that eventually, it's continue to learn and tear us down. So
the last comment you made, you reached back to me about November, and maybe we'll do one of those. Get Holtz and Schultz in here and let them know what's going on. Because those guys can't know everything too, but one thing brought to their attention, and they get to ask some questions and to understand it, that's when I see things get done at the Capitol.
Yeah. So. And in Shelby County, we're very active with the Iowa State Sheriff's and Deputies Association, and the Sheriff process allowed me to sit on the state jail committee. I sit with 14 other people, representatives and jail administrators and sheriffs that are sitting on this, and the ISSDA is very good. We have lobbyists and stuff, but we bring these things to the table consistently, but it seems like consistently.
Yeah.
And not to say it's like, but jail is usually put to the back burner because.
What I've known in my years down there, things don't change much during the session. You have to approach them before the session so they have time to put a bill or something together. Because otherwise they're just, they can't hardly keep track of things.
Yeah, I mean, when the legislators are busy, everything's a lot's going on. It's just,
Yeah.
trying to
It's got to be done beforehand.
be transparent to
Not
the taxpayers. I mean, and, yeah.
One-on-one.
And one thing that is not going to go away is crime.
Right.
I mean, that's.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
Take care. You bet.
Any other department head reports out there? Okay. Next on the agenda, Resolution 2024-24, zoning fees, which is a resolution to help tornado victims in the county, with the possibility of the county waiving filing fees and building permit fees in the county. When tornado hit, I reached out to Tony, said, hey, what are some things we could maybe do to help out as a county? And Tony did some research and found out some things we have and what other counties have done in the past. And so I'll turn it over to you.
Steve brought to my attention last week that Potawatomi County had waived application fees for reconstruction due to the tornado on the 26th. And so I spoke with their zoning folks down there, got a copy of what was passed and modified it to make sense for our county. So it's, what I'm proposing is very specific. It's strictly for rebuilding from the storm of April 26th. It would be waiving basically construction permit fees, which in our county it's $50. And for that matter, farmers don't have a fee to begin with, so this will affect the non-farmers essentially. Is $50 a big deal? No, but it's something we are able to do by waiving that.
I've always said nobody should be making money or collecting fees for something that was somebody else's. They have no other control.
Right.
Yep.
So I should clarify that they would still need to get a permit from us, but there won't be any cost. It's a very easy thing to do with and to begin with. We can help them fill out whatever we can do to make them help. Farmers don't, again, necessarily need an application, but they are still required by state code to let us know that they need to change.
Yeah.
So again,
With all
work
the
with
bins
us.
and buildings and stuff.
Yeah,
out
bins,
there.
buildings, houses, all of that. You're not asking for permission to do it. You're just letting us know. And oh, by the way, maybe we'll find out from Chris's department. If you could just move it back 15 feet, we won't keep you in that drift across the road or something like that. So, work with us on that. I recommend waiving the $50 application fee for a building permit for people specifically affected by the tornado event to the 26th.
It's just something that just popped in my brain right now. So when victims catch their breath, they should probably be reaching out to you and going over the buildings that are gone. Or how do you want that handled?
We've had a couple people call in already. Well, what I'm thinking right now is we already have a detailed list from EMA of the properties affected.
Oh, okay.
And
so you'll go through that.
We will actually stop at every one of those properties because all that matters is for us it's January 1st. So whatever's there next January is all that matters.
So some will turn over fairly quick. Some will not.
Some won't. Some won't come back. Something might be replaced with something different.
Okay.
So
We're
going to stay out of their way. We're going to probably towards the end of the year, first part of next year, visit all the properties, know what's gone or what's heavily damaged. For that matter, anything coming in and so on as well.
Tony, it would really be nice if on our website or something, wherever we got quite a few things, and I got a few more things I'm going to add to the website, so the victims know of resources and that. If you had a little bullet there that said, okay, you have time until whatever, January 1st or whatever, to let us know what buildings or won't be there.
Well, and then if everything works as it should, we will be there and we'll update our records.
Well, whatever you need to put out there.
Yeah, but that's a good idea.
Just to give them some reassurance that that's not another thing they have to worry about right now.
I guess I can be the bearer of bad news that, for instance, the tax bill we get this coming fall, they'll be on it.
Yeah.
Because the tax bill we're getting this fall is as of January 1st of 23.
Right.
The tax bill in the fall of next year will be based on January of 24. Right. So even if unfortunately you lost everything, you're still going to get a bill this coming fall and the next fall. But the same will work if you rebuild.
Right.
So if anything shows up next by January 1st, you're not going to pay taxes on it for another year after that. So it's the same. It's just
Yeah.
we're
We're behind.
you're on. Yeah.
Okay. Tony, Mark, would you mind reading the resolution?
Sure.
Okay.
Whereas on April 26, 2024, several locations in Shelby County, Iowa experienced extreme events of tornadic activity. And whereas as a result, this extreme event, tornado damage occurred in the unincorporated areas of the county. And whereas said tornadic activity has damaged several structures in the unincorporated area of the county. And whereas Shelby County has enacted a zoning ordinance which requires that permits be obtained prior to commencing construction or reconstruction. And whereas the zoning ordinance establishes filing fees for permits required by said ordinance, and whereas the Board of Supervisors feels it is in the best interest of the county and those property owners affected that the filing fees for these permits be temporarily waived. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shelby County Board of Supervisors that the filing fees for zoning permits shall be waived in the following situations and subject to the following conditions. The property is in the tornadic activity damaged areas of the unincorporated area of Shelby County, Iowa. Structural repairs are necessary to repair tornadic activity damage occurring during the April 26, 2024 tornadic event. That any structural repairs or construction not tornado damage related shall be subject to the required filing fees. And that the waiving of filing fees does not waive any other requirements of Shelby County or Iowa code sections.
Thank you. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, that is essentially it. So, and then they'll still have the requirements to, you know, if they're redoing the house, to check with Luke about septic and all those things.
We're
It's
going to be
just,
looking into that too. I'm on the Board of Health, and we'll be looking at that at our next meeting too.
so, and even if there's not a fee there, they would still have to possibly update it if they're changing bedrooms or things like that. But that's it in a nutshell. If we're replacing or repairing something from that specific storm, no filing fee from zoning.
Yeah, I think this is one easy thing the board can do to help out.
Yeah.
No, you guys have any other questions?
No.
Do I have a motion to approve the resolution? To waive zoning fees, building construction fees to help tornado victims?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. I really appreciate your help on this and taking the lead. Thank you. Supervisors report. Guys have anything?
Update on Mantino, a lot going on up there. They had a major water leak in the shower house, had to cut concrete and get down at the street shut off, and that's been completed, but it was a way bigger job than anticipated. The two sides of the shop are finished, and getting ready to do the front, and this is all with volunteer labor, so it's going a little slower with the weather. But volunteers will get out there and get the west side done very soon. Other than that, had a water leak addition event, and everything's sealed up now and ready for campers. So.
Okay. Charlie, do you have anything? I just have a couple things without repeating myself from earlier, but thanking everybody everybody's been involved doing something. It really helped with Secretary Meg and elected officials and the governor and everybody. It's opened their eyes, and it's opening up a lot of doors for us. I think we're going to see results of this fairly quickly. I want to remind people, please, there's a lot of information out there, but if you go to the Shelby County website, a couple things that are posted on there already. One is the tornado relief and what's available out there. Out at the Congregational United Church, it's like a mini Walmart for the victims, and please go out there. It's anywhere from food to cleaning supplies to clothing to bedding, you name it, it's out there. They'll even deliver it out to your place. So really want, especially people that are displaced, to let them know about that. And I've been to every place, so, and I've let them know that, but of course, they had other things on their mind, but it's out there, and the people have been great. Shelby County Bank, we started a EMA foundation through the county, and Shelby County State Bank has stepped forward with their employees just to manage it. They're not gaining anything from it, but they've been a great asset, so you're gonna start hearing more about that and how you can donate monetarily, and I can't speak to it right now, but there's a good chance we're gonna get outside matching for it. So if people could step forward, organizations, that'd be great. The volunteer request that Jim Shelton and Alex and Jordan did has been phenomenal. And there's a number you can call, 579-1478 or 579-1658. This is also on our website. If you need volunteers or have volunteers or you're a volunteer and want to donate your time or equipment or UTVs, trucks, whatever, we're at least going to go through the weekend with that, and then we'll see percentage. If we got 95% of the fields has been the main objective right now. See if that's done and how long we're going to do that, and then people can do the things on their own. But yesterday, or I'm going to say from last Friday when I toured the county to yesterday, vast majority was getting picked up or been picked up. I was just amazed in 3 days how stuff that was picked up. So kudos to everybody. And then also we're going to be putting a fact sheet on there. We put together, and I had a handout for the elected officials that come. We have a map of the 74 homesteads that have been impacted, and we got information as far as homes damaged, grain bins, barns, whatever. This is the fact sheet that's out there with some pictures so people know what's going on. Okay, now it'll be on our website. Again, thanks to everybody. If that's all I have for now, we'll move on to Todd Billing's chamber report. Thanks, Todd.
Morning. Morning. Like you said, a lot of things have been popping up, and a lot of things are getting put together to help with support, vendors, donations. So a couple of things we wanted to remind folks of. First of all, for those who have damage, if you're out, you're taking a lot of pictures, the flash drives, thumb drives, things like that are available for sale at Co-op Computer Division here for farm service. And they've got them greatly discounted for people to go in and pick them up. And then also, just a reminder that they've got that Kodak kiosk there, so you can take your thumb drive and you can generate as many copies of those photos that you want to generate for who all you need to distribute them to. Couple of benefit concerts coming up. One on Saturday, May 18th, out at Farmhand Brewing Company. It's going to be 4 bands. Going to be a lot, and all the benefits from this will go towards that Shelby County Tornado Relief Fund. So we have that one going on, and then also on Friday, June 7th, the Shelby County Fairgrounds will have a benefit concert going on. Tickets for that one can be purchased online. There are no requirement for tickets for the Farmhand Brewing one. Reminder just for folks out there, if you're looking for a break by May 16th and you need something just to put a smile on your face, Roaring to Harlan Car and Bike Night starts that week. So 6 to 9 down here in downtown Square. And then finally, we were planning on having a candidate forum for the upcoming primary this Thursday. But with all the cleanup that's taking place and still needs to take place, we're going to move that to May 23rd. It'll be at 6:30 at the high school, and we've reached out to all the candidates to let them know we're making that change.
In the auditorium?
It'll be at the auditorium, yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then as you guys keep getting stuff posted, and Alex and, get stuff up on the emergency management site, then we're making sure we get it out to some of the other area social media sites, just sharing it out there across there. So if somebody's not following Shelby County Emergency Management, they'll catch it someplace else.
You brought up a reminder that I need to get out there because some of the questions We're receiving, people want to donate, they want to know, one, is it going to stay in Shelby County, the money? Yes.
Yes.
Is it going to be going for administration fees? No, because we even have the Foundation of Omaha helping us drive this. They don't have any fees to that. So it will stay here, and it's not going to be income-based, okay? It's going to try to help all of them, and you might say, well, how can we do that? Well, I see one big area is everybody has trees, shrubs, landscaping. That's one thing we can help everybody to help beautify up, because that's one thing I hear all the place I go is I can't replace the trees and the way it used to look. So that's one area we can help everybody. Okay, and that's what we're really looking at. And I volunteered myself to be on that board to help determine that. So the things hit the needs here. Okay, so just people know we're going to be watching it really close for any of your donations. Okay.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it's in each Shelby County State Bank branch throughout the county.
Yep.
Just walk in the front door, tell them it's for the Tornado Relief Fund, and they'll handle it from there.
Yep. Yeah, they've been awesome. So, okay. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks, Todd.
Secondary roads report. Chris. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I got quite a bit, but I'll try and keep everything short. I think to start out
You
with.
haven't been busy yet.
No, not as much as some.
Glad the paving's over.
I am too.
Oh, man.
I'm glad it's still there.
Pretty hard to sum that up.
I know.
I've seen some weird stuff out
I
there.
know. So yeah, I guess to start, F-24 from Linden to Irwin is more or less complete. They do need to come back. There is one spot they're going to come back and work on. They went to Audubon County. So they're not very far away. I think next week they're hoping they will be back. So we're going to hit that. They will do this in-town portion of Irwin that they did not do prior, and that is Irwin's only, but it kind of coincides with ours. And then also they're going to fix the spot on Linden where the old bridge was taken out north of McLaughlin's. So that will be closed overnight at some point.
That's all?
I'll let EMA know. Yeah.
Okay.
They'll come in the first day.
Okay.
Well, they'll close it, say it's a Tuesday, they'll close it on Tuesday, they'll mill it out, it'll be closed overnight. Wednesday they'll come in and everything will be done, it'll be open again Wednesday
Good.
night. So
Yeah.
I guess you could say 2 days
Okay.
technically closed. And that will go out to EMA whenever I know
Will the
more.
neighbors know? A little heads up.
I can try, yeah.
It'd be good if you did with all this.
I know, with
Especially the
everything
ones right there.
Going on, it's kind
Yeah.
of,
I mean,
it might be more of a
they know it needs to be
pain
fixed,
what's
but
going, so.
in case they have trucks coming in
Right.
to clean out a bin or something, and it'd really be a good service if we could reach out to them a little
Yeah,
bit, or
and
Dan
that's-
could call them or something.
Yeah, and we can see what,
Once you know for
as soon
sure.
as I know what's
Yeah.
happening also, and I know Western knows our situation, and they've driven back through there again, and
Yeah.
they were all very surprised at what went on too, so. So that's kind of the update on that portion of the project.
Okay.
With the storm, immediately after we went out and tried to restake all the road signs, stop signs first, get what we could get. We are out
There's a lot of them
redoing all
down,
those currently. So sign man Tommy will be busy for a while trying to get everything placed back up. I think most everything was still there. I know with all the wind we had, I believe we talked about it yesterday, some of the signs we had staked went over again. So just if everybody can watch out, we're trying to keep them as best as we can. Like I say, stop signs are priority. Anything after that is up in the air. So trying to get those done. Last week we spent most, if not all the week, everyone was out picking stuff up out of the
I
right
was
of
gonna
way.
say you guys did a great job.
Trying to get, I give a lot of thanks to all my crew. They did a wonderful job. So we got everything pretty well pulled out. There may be a few random pieces floating around. We'll get them as we can. Not going to make a priority of them.
Right.
Yesterday we did get out. We tried to pull in some of the edge ruts, blade minimally, cut some washboards out. We had another inch of rain. So that'll hamper today's. Otherwise, we're back out. We'll be rocking again and trying to catch up from everything that way. So that's what the blading crew is doing. The excavators are back out. working on a couple of different pipe projects, so they will be floating around, doing what we can get done there. The bridge crew, they're back on that. I think they got all the new piling driven on the bridge they're working on right now west of Harlan. So as weather permits and mud, we'll keep picking away on that one. Hopefully get it buttoned up as soon as we can and get back to just normal load here. One other quick thing I want to mention, something that's coming up, and the residents of Corley will be getting a letter. Nothing had been done to their city streets for many years. There's a spot on the south end that's getting really bad. It was muddy. So we're going to go in, we're going to put a pipe in, fix that portion of the road, get it to drain. We're going to go down and reclaim all the streets within Corley. They will be ground up. If it needs additional rock, will be ground in. At that time, everything will be let sit through a good portion of the summer, I'm going to say, and I don't know exactly when we're going to get to this. The storm kind of threw some wrenches in. It'll be let sit. We will monitor it, tight blade it, keep it down. And then following that, Stay-Built will come in and double seal or seal coat everything. So we'll be back to what they had. We're just going to try and get the surface better so the seal coat lasts as long as
because that's unincorporated, it's a county
we're
obligation.
Responsible for it.
Yeah.
So, and like I say, we're going to go down and do that work on the south end, and nothing is really great. So while we're there, I think it's better we just do it all, get it done, and then they should be good for a while again. Like I said, they haven't had any major repairs, and they need it also. So that's just on something to come. And like I say, just so the residents know when they get this letter that there is a plan for them. So I guess that's kind of my updates. Is there any big questions on anything we have?
Any insurance updates with all the damage at the landfill for the doors and stuff?
Quick on the landfill. The adjusters were there on Thursday. I spoke with them. They're supposed to be writing up their assessment. Hopefully I will get that. Last night with the wind, we had some additional damage out there. Nothing too severe. Some was just, if the existing wouldn't have been there, this wouldn't have happened.
The doors being gone caused some other issues.
Correct. The high winds coming through there and some additional tin loss, etc. So I will get a hold of the adjusters again, send them some more pictures, see how they want to move forward on that part. Not big items, but something they should be aware of. So I've got numbers. Hopefully today I'm going to try and get a hold of a couple of door companies and a couple of building contractors in the area just to start some quote ideas or get some stuff coming in to see where we're at.
Even if it's not, if we can't get door, and you said you're having a hard time even locating them, if we had to put temporary, like roll doors or something.
Well, and that's what's bad. The holes are so big, and I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't. The workers out there didn't say we lost a lot of material last night, so I would have thought it would have been a pretty good showing with those southwest winds coming through. So hopefully, we'll see where we go, but get a couple of quotes going and see where everybody's at, and then move forward on the repairs. But we are open as normal. Everything is functioning. We are good.
Right.
So.
Okay.
So that's the update that I have. The other thing I have 8 or 9 right-of-way permits that came in all of a sudden that I would like to go through and have approved. So just as a precursor, everybody has turned in their insurance. Everything will stay within the right-of-way. There's no landowners affected. Where needed, the roads will all be bored underneath, culverts bored underneath, bricks bored underneath, kind of the
So this is all pretty much standard related?
Yeah, well, no, this is all additional stuff that came in following the last meeting, but between now. So things that I think they're looking ahead to do also. So we should probably do them one at a time.
Okay.
And Mark, these start out at application number 2024. And would it be easier if I give you
just who they're for?
Okay.
That's all I'll need.
All right. So the first one will have Western Iowa Wireless.
Yep.
Okay.
We're just
and,
gonna approve them all together.
Can you do it as one?
Yep.
Okay.
We did it before.
Okay, so we'll have Western Iowa Wireless, we'll have Mission and Botany Valley REC, and there's multiple for
As
each.
long as they all fit your
Yes.
specs and recommendation.
Yes.
Okay.
And if we need the numbers in or whatever, I can give those.
And don't affect landowners.
They do not.
Okay.
Morning helper and telephone,
Okay.
and FMCTC. Yeah, everything looks good. Shouldn't be an issue.
I get it.
And is that emergency one you and I talked about last week in there?
Yes, it is. We spoke about one. They thought they would have a contractor in Thursday of last week. I do not know with everything if it got
Right.
done or not, but it was a very simple, it was REC, and it was just a bore from one pole, or go from one pole on one side of the road, they bore underneath the road to the next pole, so no big deals.
Okay.
So
How many of them is there?
there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is 9.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Okay. Second. Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce to approve the 9 road crossing permits. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
One additional quick one here that really does not or should not affect us, but they are required by the state to have me sign it. And this is FMCTC. Will be over by the corner of F32 and 191. They should be within the state's right of way, but it says they could be within 0 feet. So I just want to make you gentlemen aware of it. If somebody is over there, it should be out of our right of way. I have to sign off on it. It should not affect us. So
Okay.
just so there's kind of a discussion here that we talked about it. So other than that, that's all I have at the moment.
Is, with the storms, is the bridge crew out trying to work?
Yeah.
Are they helping other areas or what?
Yeah, we drove pile yesterday.
Okay.
Again, so I think
Just
they got
curious.
the other rack in. And
Okay.
the Tommy that does signs, he is partially bridge crew, partially sign man. So they lose one there, and I believe we've had our summer help on the bridge crew. He's been going with Tommy also just to try and get things knocked out.
Well, I hope we can get
We may be a
5,
little
6 days of no rain, so
right.
because the roads, and you will know that.
I know.
need so much attention with all the washing on the side and rock and with all the rain. I've
Yeah.
had 8.6 inches of rain at my farm since the tornado of 26.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
more rain than I had all growing season. I'm
Yeah.
not complaining.
Thankful we have it. It just all comes at one time.
And the drought in this area is going to be gone for a little while. Anyway,
That's a good
it's a good thing.
So, yeah,
Fill that groundwater.
we'll be out, as we can, doing what we can as quick as we can. So,
Okay, thank you.
thanks.
Chris?
Thanks, Chris.
Chris,
Yes.
before you run, right on that line where the arrow's pointing.
Next on the agenda, Harlan Family Services lease. I'm going to do a little revision to that, Marcus, with the proposed sale at the annex building, where the lease is.
Yeah, there was a provision in the Harlan lease that basically said that they would have to vacate if we sold the building. And so we amended the lease to take that provision out because they want to remain there.
Right, and
They're okay with
you
that.
had contact with them?
Mark
They're okay
had
with it?
Yes.
contact with them.
Okay,
And they're on board.
yep, okay. Okay, so the wording of it is just that they would not be vacated? Is that the only part that was removed?
We just took out the vacation on sale
And notice?
provision, yeah.
Okay.
We took that out.
And
Lease would be
Lease is
done
the same.
if we sold it,
Right.
but we took that out.
And the way we had the other 2 leases, theirs would be the same as that goes over to the new owner, would honor that until their lease is up, and then they would negotiate on the,
Right, and those other leases did not have the termination on sale provision.
right. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the changes to Harlan Family Services leases as presented?
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Is there anything else anybody has out there that's not on the agenda to discuss?
Steve, I just want to take a minute and thank you for stepping up and, man, you put in the time for this tornado. You got our legislators and everybody on board and made aware of, and I mean, it's, have to do that, which is good, and it's made a huge difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.